Oilersnation Everyday with your hosts, Tyler and Liam.
Another day and more breaking news. The Oilers recalled David Tomasek. Bust out the champagne. Let's get into it with the lead. Woo. We're not at.
I'm good.
No, we're not. Put that away. It is a work day, damn it. Welcome into Oilersnation Everyday. We are live from the Sports Closet studio. From jerseys to hats to the legendary foam finger, you'll find it all and more at the Sports Closet. I also got a fun email from my boy Noah at the Sports Closet.
Adler?
No.
Oh.
I forget what his last name is. Brass. There you go. Shout out to Noah Brass. He works at the Sports Closet. He emailed me and said, Tyler, I would love if we could give away a gift card on home game day editions of the show.
All right. I would love that too.
So there you go. We got to figure out a way to do it every day, but shout out to Noah. Shout out to our friends at the Sports Closet. Shout out to Bet365. This show is a presentation of Bet365. Download the app today and use the promo code NATION. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. YouTube chat. Good to see you all back in here once again today. The YouTube chat is brought to you by Odd Company Brewing and the Nation Beer Everyday Lager, a crisp, clean lager crafted not just for game day, but for every day. Austin dropped in a comment. Good morning, Oilers Nation. Let's effing go. Fire it up. One more day. Fire it up tonight. QF Bro, regular season hockey tonight. He added in, if I'm choosing between 6 teams I don't care about in Blue Jays, Yankees game 3, I know what I'm watching tonight. QF Bro, you need 2 TVs. It's the only way.
NHL, just pick better games. Then we won't have to make tough decisions of our lives.
Yeah. I don't mind the games today.
What do you like about them? Let's get into it.
I know you hate them.
They're just dumb.
It's the defending champs against Connor Bedard.
Okay, 3 years in a row we've had Blackhawks on the TV. 3 years in a row they will
It's a major market.
But they're the worst team in the league.
Connor Bedard.
Toronto.
Yeah, but it's ESPN, right? Like this.
This
triple header is way more
it.
for the Americans than us.
Oh, definitely.
Pittsburgh, New York, Mike Sullivan, revenge. That one's the best of the 3. You got to agree with me on that.
100%. I agree.
Colorado, LA doesn't make a ton of sense, but it's Nathan McKinnon.
Personnel perspective, that one's the best game. LA,
sure.
Colorado. LA really good at home. Although Mackenzie Blackwood might not play tonight.
He is not playing
He's
tonight.
not pleased out. Okay,
yeah, I believe it is Scott Wedgwood getting the start for the Avs, which means over.
Yeah.
Bet the
Set your daily
over.
lineups. I did one today, and I did a bit of LA Kings stack. Stack? Is that what they call it? The kids call it? Yeah, the Quinton Byfield, very undervalued.
Really? Interesting. So, yeah, 3 NHL games on tap tonight. And, of course, Blue Jays, Yankees, Game 3. We're going to talk about that and more with our new coworker.
Oh, yes.
Ryder from Ryder and Lisa, or, as you're going to know them starting next month, The Sauce.
I didn't know what it was called until
Neither
you brought
did
it
I.
up yesterday on the show.
Yeah, no.
The Sauce.
The Sauce.
That's exciting to get him on the show. I can't wait to chat with him. We have Rob Schremp as well coming up. That'll
Rob
be great.
Schremp is guest number 2 today at 1 o'clock. One of the things I really want to talk to him about, also Reese. Can you take this champagne away? I just can't smell champagne. I'll show. Thank you, Reese.
Thank you, Reese. Happy Boyfriend's Day.
I want to talk to Rob Schremp about Chris Knobloch's logic of keeping Howard and Savoy away from McDavid and Draisaitl to keep them away from the other team's best and ease them into it. And also, like, spreading out the minutes. Like, I think Rob's the perfect guy to ask about that because, like, he would have been in a similar spot to a Savoy, to an Ike Howard coming into the NHL, where a skilled guy who's trying to work his way up the lineup. So I'm excited to talk with Rob about that. I want to talk to him about if maybe we don't make a big enough deal about the second power play unit thing and getting puck touches and things of that ilk.
I think one other thing with Howard and Savoy, too, this almost allows them to become their own players in a way as well.
Yeah, sure.
Until, like, they obviously... I mean, I feel like it's inevitable at some point they will play with either McDavid or Draisaitl, but I think to start to, they're not relying on those 2 guys to make plays for them. They almost have to be drivers on their own line. Like, Howard was skating on the 4th line the other day. Who is he with? Henrique and Kapanen? I actually think that's a really solid trio. And to be honest, if that was the 3rd line, everyone would be more than happy with what it looks like. It's just labeled as a 4th line. I'm sure they'll still get 13, 14 minutes out there, however much it ends up being. But with Savoy, I think fans are going to be... Honestly, I think once fans really see him get going, the question is going to be, how is this guy not alongside McDavid or Draisaitl? I really do. I am so high on this guy. And I don't mean like, I'm not expecting a point per game season or anything crazy like that. But
I'm
this
high
guy,
on him too. I'm not expecting 50 points.
No, I think somewhere honestly, the number that comes right into my head is about 43. So I'm a big fan of him. I love Savoy. I can't wait to see him play tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm with you on that front.
There was an interesting question, from a first-time commenter, I believe.
Whoa, we got to give him some love.
Victor, last name started with Z.
Victor E. Green, the Dallas Stars mascot?
No, not Victory Green. A little bit high, a little bit high, a little bit high, a little bit high. There it is. Why is everyone sleeping on this year's roster? I think it's because people just don't know who the players are.
Thank you for watching, Victor.
Yes, thank you very much, Victor. And I don't mean that in like a way to take shots at people. I just think there is a lot of unknown still. Like, we don't know what Trent Frederick is on his team. We just talked about Savoy and Howard being young. Noah Philp is labeled as a third-line center, and I guarantee you half the hosts of NHL podcasts don't know who he is.
Correct.
And that's fine. Tomasek, again, like, we don't even really know who he is. So I think once people get going, the Oilers get going and people start watching them a little bit more, they'll be like, oh, this team's actually really solid. And I think when you look at a lot of like the Athletic had a post, Dom Lecision also had one, is that the Oilers were number one team on his list, I believe.
Yeah, he had them projected to finish as the President's Trophy winners.
Yeah, and then there was another one I saw, they were maybe like the 5th best team in the league. Like, people do view them very highly. I just think there's a lot of question marks. But that blue line, again, being massively underrated.
I think it's something, too, about the new sort of way this organization's operating. If you notice, the analytics people are very high on the Oilers now.
Very, because they've made big improvements in that department.
And they're building their team in a, like Ken Holland was a old school.
Yeah.
We're going to get size. Our defensemen are going to be strong and gritty. And like, that's not to say Ken Holland didn't make good moves, but like for every Matthias Ekholm, there's a Cody Ceci, where right for every, Chris Russell previously, but like different regime. But the Oilers aren't doing that shit anymore.
No.
They're getting Jake Wallman, who, yes, he checks the box of playing physically and all that, but what is his number one asset? Puck moving.
And I love that they say that all the time. Our defensemen need to get the pucks to the forwards.
Like, you have the best forwards in the NHL. Get the puck to them.
Yeah.
So, again, it's good.
And that's why Emberson was taken off the lineup in the playoffs, because he wasn't playing quick enough.
Yeah.
And I like that they have, like, there's a purpose behind this now. It's not just like, oh, he had a bad game. Like, the explanation is there. They talk about why he's not playing.
The stat I always think about with Emberson that got thrown around was, like, he led the Oilers' defense group in times getting hit. That means he was not getting the puck out fast enough when it was dumped in on him.
Yeah.
That's why he couldn't play. He needs to be quicker this year. Let's get into a little bit of lineup news here. I saw some people in the chat asking about it, and I think it's a good question. So David Tomasek is back up. Zach Hyman's been put on LTIR. We expected those two moves, but if you're someone who gets the notifications for the Oilers Twitter, like me, and you got the one today and you went, why isn't Ike Howard also recalled? Because he was sent down yesterday, too, as a part of the maximizing their LTIR recapture pool and all of that stuff. Shit that a bunch of you probably don't really care about, but they had to do it to be cap compliant. So because James Hamblin was brought up and Howard was sent down, again, that's like a waivers thing. Hamblin has to be on the roster for a day, so he has to be here till 3 o'clock, and then you can swap him for Ike Howard. So Ike Howard, according to our guy Jason Greger, is going to come up, and he is going to be available for tomorrow. It just sounds like they just have to wait till 3 o'clock to process the paperwork.
I was also confused by this.
Me too.
That makes a lot of sense. I tweeted about it. I corrected myself. We're all good.
We got one in the chat as well. The Wallman contract's fine. Yeah, we can talk about that a little bit later on. Did you guys watch the SDPN's reaction to the McDavid signing? So satisfying. Yes, the barn burner guys. It was like a funeral on their show. I loved every second of it.
I only saw the one clip from the Dangle show, and I thought they handled it pretty well.
Yeah, I didn't.
They were very, like, fuck. But, like, you watch it, and they're just like, well, this is a great deal for them. Also, screw you, Toronto Maple Leafs players.
Yeah. It is pretty funny. Like, again, Leafs fans spend all that time laughing at Oilers fans. Oh, we're getting McDavid. We're going to get McDavid. He just wants to play at home. And then you look at everything that's happened. I'm not just talking recently. I'm talking, like, over the 10 years of McDavid's career.
He got drafted.
Marner, their hometown guy, skewered them, and he took every penny he could from that team. He signed for whatever it was, $12 million, and then walked the first opportunity he could to walk. Austin Matthews signs short-term deals. He's going to be a free agent at the same time as McDavid. Signs short-term deals at max AAVs, all of that stuff. I think it's very funny to compare the way Connors acted to stay in Edmonton versus how the Leafs stars have acted both in staying in Toronto and ultimately leaving Toronto. It's interesting.
They're not going to get to use it, so we should just take a look at it maybe just one more time here.
Fucking
Suck it, Alberga.
On LMT, I watched a little bit of it yesterday. And I don't recall ever talking about this, but do you ever remember talking about Matthew Nyes being offer sheeted to Edmonton?
No.
They said we talked about it. It wasn't specifically me and you, but like, I don't remember that being brought up. And if it was, like, I just don't recall that ever. The kid makes a lot of money, and deservedly so. He's a very good player.
Yeah.
I just never saw him as an Oiler.
Totally. Our guest is downstairs, Reese, if you want to go for a walk. That means everyone gets to watch Reese walk out the door.
Goodbye, Reese. Let's get a close-up. Damn
it. Before we get to Ryder, there's a couple of things that I want to talk about. And it's a couple of dumb narratives.
Okay, here we go.
Connor McDavid signs. We're obviously very, very excited about that.
Yeah.
Other fan bases don't want the Oilers or Oilers fans to be happy. They're throwing a lot of shit, moving the goalposts and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Oh, now he's leaving in 3 years. So 2 narratives I want to get in front of right now. This one we touched on with Pagnotta, and I kind of said it all along. The NHLPA thing is dumb. There was never pressure. Why would the NHLPA care what Connor McDavid makes? And I know you might be thinking, well, he's got to set the market and blah, 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 blah. No. The NHL salary cap operates on a lump sum pool of money. There is a finite amount of money that teams can spend on players. Mm-hmm. If Connor McDavid takes 12 and a half, you know what's going to happen next summer? The Oilers are going to go find a guy to give, or find guys to spend $6 million more on. Those guys are going to not be signed by another team who in turn will go and spend that money on someone else, and so on and so forth. If anything, McDavid doing this is borderline better for the NHLPA.
Yeah, I think I completely agree. I think that the idea too of like now other GMs are going to put pressure on other players to sign these contracts, like the guys who are currently available right now, is just like, I just don't think it matters. I really don't. Like, I just don't see it like kind of bothering other people around the league.
I think I don't think the NHLPA is upset. I think other star players might be a little bit like, Jesus Christ, Connor, because now guess what? When Austin Matthews goes to re-up, are there not going to be Leafs fans who go, whoa, why aren't you doing what Connor did? We haven't won yet either because they're not going to win. Jack Eichel's different because he has a cup, I think. Mm-hmm. But, like, there will be some Golden Knights fans, those of them that understand the cap and whatnot, that will be like, why isn't Jack Eichel doing what Connor McDavid did, right? Like, fan bases will have these discussions, but ultimately I don't think teams are going to go and put pressure on their star players to do this because everyone in hockey recognizes that Connor's a unique case and Connor's going about this in a very unique way. And again, 2-year deal, right? If a team's going to sit there and go, Jack Eichel, $12 million, I can go, okay, sign me for 2 years and I'll make more money in a couple of years.
Yeah.
And if teams want to point to Connor, players can point to Kaprizov. The NHLPA narrative is dumb. If the NHLPA is going to be upset about anything, you know what they're going to be upset about? When you go to Puckpedia and Chicago has 14 million cap space, and so does Columbus, and Anaheim has 13, and Detroit has 11, and Pittsburgh has 11. Like, they're way more pissed. The Hurricanes have 10. How the fuck do the Hurricanes have $10 million in cap space? They're going to be way more pissed about the 6 teams with north of $10 million in cap space than they are about Connor McDavid taking any sort of a discount. Mm-hmm. Narrative number 2 I want to be angry about.
Okay, here we go.
The Toronto writers and the Flames fans on Twitter and all that, oh, the Oilers have 3 years to build a contender.
They are a contender. They don't have to build shit.
They are already a contender. They are a combined 3 wins away from the last 2 Stanley Cups. Yeah. No one else is that close.
No, the Flames are actually 3 wins away from making the playoffs last year.
Yeah. Oilers got that close to a cup back-to-back years. The idea that the Oilers are far away, that they're going to lose this year because of their goaltending, all of that stuff is so stupid. And I think in hindsight, and I wrote this at Oilersnation.com, piece coming out later today.
Check it out.
If this whole process has shown us anything, it's that we don't know what's in Connor McDavid's head.
Oh, I know what's in his head.
Well, he wants to win.
He wants to win. He doesn't care about money, and it's about his teammates.
But we know that now. But like leading through this, we didn't really know We thought initially, you and I, right? We thought, hey, it's going to be an 8-year deal in July. And then it goes on. You're thinking, okay, middle term, 4 years, 16 and a half. Signs. No one knew what was in McDavid's head. But in hindsight, I think we can look at this and go, this whole exercise from not signing in the summer to delaying it in camp to saying what he did in camp, I think a lot of that was calculated. He gave a lot of similar responses.
Yeah.
To signing when he did, I would not be the least bit surprised if this whole time Connor had this day circled.
Maybe, yeah.
To signing for the amount he did, term he did, it was all done to put pressure on the organization. And that's fine. The Oilers, whether Connor signed for 8 years or 2 years, they were going to be under some amount of pressure to keep this team competitive for that whole window because you never rebuild if you have Connor McDavid. But I just think it's interesting the way the goalposts are being moved of like, oh, this franchise has 3 years to prove they can win. What do you think? If the Oilers in these 3 years go to 3 more Stanley Cup finals, do you think Connor McDavid at the end of it is like, okay, I'm out?
No, and that's the thing too. Like, if he was to leave, there's probably very few options that are better than Edmonton or as good as Edmonton. Unless, obviously, like, things go to shit. And knock on wood, they don't. But, like, I never understood that narrative either. And also, too, of the idea of, like, Stan Bowman, like, he has no choice now. He has to keep pushing. He's like, why would he have stopped before? Like, he knows what the job is before he took it. And he's a good GM. He's won 3 Stanley Cups for a reason. So I never really got that side of it either. Like, I think this whole time, what we've learned from Connor is that it is strictly about winning. Freeman was on Morning Cup of Hockey today, and he said he believes from when he's spoken to people that 4 Nations win really gave him more of an urge, and like he got the feeling of it, right?
Yeah.
So I think this year is going to be unbelievable for McDavid. His over-under on Bet365 is 138 points, I think.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 150 points for Connor McDavid.
Well, that is a nice tie-in because we're going to be doing something with our first guest of the day. We're going to do mild, medium, and spicy predictions. We're each going to give 3.
That's not one of my 3.
Well, it was one of mine, so.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
That's why you shouldn't put things in the prep sheet.
That's why we should prep less. Damn it. All right, let's get out to the Star Mechanical guest line. It's Edmonton's #1 plumbing and heating company. You can find out more by visiting them online at starmechanical.ca. If you missed it yesterday, as we get set behind the scenes here, a very big announcement at Oilers Nation that Ryder and Lisa, for those of you who watch the show from Edmonton, you already know who they are. We do have a lot of listeners from down south who maybe wouldn't know a lot about the Yeg legends, which is why I'm very excited for them to be joining our network. They've been doing great radio in the city for a long time, north of a decade, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, well north of a decade. Plug that in, Reese. There we go. Ryder and Lisa announced that they're joining us on a full-time basis. They're bringing a morning show to the Nation Network, and Ryder joins us today on the show.
Hello.
Is the mic at a good level for you? It's a really good introduction that we just kind of slap everything together when you walk in. But we're excited to have you on.
It's a little loose, but
This mic has given us problems
we're
recently.
fine. I'll make it work.
There's duct tape on it. That usually works. It usually solves the problem. You got the Jays lid on, too. Let's go.
Yeah, big one tonight. I do not want to give that Yankees team any sort of confidence at all.
If you would have told me going into the series, like, hey, you're going to be up 2-0 going to New York, I would have been thrilled.
Yeah.
And going back to, like, my previous self, I would have been like, oh, I'll be feeling so good going to New York. I'm scared shitless going into tonight.
Yeah, I think I'd be more scared had we started Bieber and got the win in 2, just not having enough game time played for Savage to have full confidence in him yet.
Yeah.
But after that performance, I've got it now moving forward. I wish we could play him every game.
That's the NHL equivalent of, like, if the Oilers would have brought up Savoy in the playoffs last year and he scored, like, 4 goals in a playoff game.
Yeah.
Like, 11 strikeouts, no hit ball, 5 1/3. It was disgusting. We can talk more Jays later, though. But first off, welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, it's so awesome to be here. This is, I think, my 3rd or 4th time popping by the studio to jump on. And the last time I was here, wheels were in motion. Nobody knew it yet, but that we'd be joining full time. So very excited for that.
It was very funny when we did the, like, teaser video of the bleeping out Ryder and Lisa, like, oh, they signed their contract thing. And in the comments, people were like, you better not be fucking playing with us. You better not be screwing around here, all thinking it's about McDavid. And then for your guys' announcement to happen, an hour and 15 minutes before the McDavid announcement, that all timed out real nicely.
Well, it was good because the trolls that dislike us hadn't found the announcement yet. So it was nothing but positivity and joy that we saw in the comments section. And then McDavid overshadowed us big time before the negative Nancy's got in.
So what's the show about? Like, what is the show going to be?
It's a
good question.
Yeah, it's a good question. I like that question.
So Bagged Milk and I go way back. We've been hanging out here and there, and every time we've kicked it, we've just gotten along really well. I know he's always been a fan of our show. We used to have him in once in a while. And when it was originally pitched, it was, we kind of want exactly what you guys are doing with a bit more Oilers. And we're like, well, we can do that because I wish I could talk about a bit more Oilers. But when you're trying to appeal to everybody, you can only do so much of every topic or you become polarizing pretty quick. So what we do right now is a lot of like observational humor, community engagement, relationships, finances, fitness, just a plethora of different things, and try to have an interesting take on a lot of stuff. And then obviously Oilers Nation and the Oilers, just I think there's so much content there to add those things too. So one of the examples I was thinking of was Lisa, my co-host, loves the Oilers, but is a casual fan in comparison to most of the staff members here. So, and I think with that comes a lot of opportunity to talk about what it's like being a casual fan. Like when she's excited about a young player, that young player is dominant. So it's just kind of a cool angle. And then I've been an Oilers fan for my whole life. And if you would have told 16-year-old me that this job even existed at 43, I would have absolutely done everything I could to set myself up to have an opportunity to get it. So this is truly a dream job I'm going to be jumping into.
Are you excited to sleep in a little bit?
Yeah, I think the thing is, like, a lot of our show right now, because we do probably, 10 songs an hour, so that's about 35 minutes of music an hour. During those songs, we're recording calls, people are calling in, we're kind of editing, figuring out what direction we're going to take the show, and to do a 2-hour show without music to discuss that, I think, yes. I don't know how much I'll be sleeping in. It'll just turn into prep hours, right. figuring out a load of content, but we're ready to roll. So
you can do what Liam and I do and just wing it.
I think the first few shows will probably be pretty well prepped, and then winging it might be an answer for sure.
We have started using a prep sheet this year, and it's worked wonders for us.
Yeah,
we're so much more dialed in.
We got an extra half an hour to fill.
Yeah, we are up to 90 minutes now, so it's not quite the 2 hours you guys are doing, but that is like a big change going nonstop. Like when we do 90 minutes, like 90 minutes, no commercial breaks. Like you just talk for 2 hours.
Yeah.
You've been in broadcasting for so long and you're so talented that like you will be fine. But is there a party that's nervous to be like, oh shit, that's a lot?
I think anytime something incredibly different gets thrown at you, it's a little nerve wracking. Everybody's got imposter syndrome. So you're like, oh, is this doable? But I also feel like the skills that we've crafted and honed over the last 20 years, or for Lisa, it's been 12, that a lot of that is kind of radio adjacent to what we're going to be doing. So we'll be able to use those skills and hopefully put on a really entertaining show that's going to be completely different. It's just going to be kicking it with us. We've always really leaned on the community, our audience, to connect like you guys do, and so we're happy to bring some of those over, and then still happy to be doing a radio show on Play from 5 until 8 p.m. weekdays.
Oh, so you're still going to be on the evenings for those of you who are going to be driving home and whatnot.
Exactly, yeah.
This one is more of like a personal question about, because it's a media landscape thing, but like you're leaving traditional media, and like you talked about when you were 16, this job didn't exist 5 years ago, right? Like the push of everything going digital, like independent, I'll call us independent companies kind of building out programming lines like this. Like, I mean, Liam and I only started doing the show, what year is this, 4 of doing it every day?
Season 4.
Yeah. Before that, it was just on game days. Like the way the independent media has grown is like crazy. Like 5 years ago, the idea of leaving the radio station for Oilers Nation probably would have just blown your mind.
Yeah. I mean, I think for the first 5 years you guys were around, I loved you, but I just called you a blog. So the idea to leave the morning show in a major market, which was without question the dream job for a lot of years there, to go work for a blog would have seemed very strange. But what you guys have turned this into is a beast, and it's honest, and it's awesome, and it's alive. It's happening every day, and there's so many different ways that people can connect with you, and it's fuel for us. We're pretty excited.
Are you going to swear?
Yeah, I think we'll probably swear a little bit. The thing is, we have nurtured good relationships with like family listeners. We got moms in the car with kids, and so we'll probably ease into it a little bit. I don't know if I'll be going with F-bombs or C-words, but
right out of the gate. We don't go that far.
Whoa.
Right out of the gate. Just
we'll probably never go that far.
Someone in the chat said, "What's the C word?" Can you know? You're good. You don't want to elaborate on that. I see a question there from Mateo, but like you're going to be covering. It's not an Oilers show. Like he was asking about the Elks, and like I'm sure you'll be talking that. Like it's an Edmonton show before it's an Oilers show. It's just on Oilers Nation. Is that a fair way to describe it?
I would say so for sure. Yeah, and that's one of the things with the show now in radio in general is a lot of people are doing a lot of shows for a lot of markets. So the focus on local sometimes does get a little lost compared to where it used to be, and I love that won't be the case here. This is going to be a local show. Yeah,
that's a good point too. Hey, like even radio itself is so much different than it was. I think of when we were still going when we were in radio school 6-7 years ago. Like it is way different now with the way shows are kind of transplanted around, right?
For sure. Like the one example I give a lot is the first morning show I had. Or I guess one of the morning shows I had in Bonnyville, I did 2 there, believe it or not. There's 2 FM stations. But when I started, there were 7 live on-air hosts in Bonnyville, a town of 6,000.
That's crazy.
And now you don't find, there's very few even shows in Toronto or stations in Toronto that would have 6 or 7 live hosts now.
Yeah.
So yeah, the landscape has changed for sure.
That is wild. Let's talk a little bit of Oilers here. So you make the big announcement. Your phone's probably blowing up for personal reasons, and then Connor signs. What was your first reaction when you saw 2 by 12.5?
I was absolutely pumped that we were able to sneak in our announcement before he did. Because if he would have announced first, like it's going to be weeks before anybody would have cared that we were coming. That's how big his signing was. 2 by 12, I would have loved, obviously, tacking on a few years there.
Yeah.
But would I take this 10 times out of 10? Absolutely. And I think there's the opportunity there if he sniffs more cups and gets one, or like his dynasty is what is at stake here, his legacy. I think he set himself up for either a huge payday in a couple of years, which he's deserving of, or a chance to really continue to be on a contender and hopefully a cup winner for years to come.
Sniffing Cups, one of the names of the shows you pitched that we nixed.
If we would have thought of that, that might have been what we went with. Yeah, no, I mean, that deal is unbelievable. And like one of the reasons I kind of stopped watching the NBA over the last few years because I really did miss the loyalty.
Yeah.
You know, when a young player is really good and can shape a franchise, those days in the NBA are kind of gone because that guy will get picked up by a beast of a team and they'll put together these mega teams. And I love the storyline of guys like Crosby and guys like Ovechkin that went in, and when you're drafted first overall, you're not going to be on a contender the first few years. And for an organization to build around a solid player and then it turns into something, I love that about the NHL, and I love that Connor bought into that and stayed with us.
You might just do it again. Like if they win a cup, he might. I'm good. 12.5 is still a great deal.
Forever.
Like just keep going. Yeah, 2 more years.
I'd pay
Why
that guy
not?
until he's 85 at that price.
I don't think that's like totally out of the realm of possibility that
We're already
he
here.
wins a couple. And someone else made a good point where they were like, you know, and we've talked about his legacy before of like, you know, Sid has his one jersey legacy and he has the Team Canada moment and he won his cups early on and all of that stuff. Connor's legacy, I think, has to be the captain who brought a cup back to Canada.
Yeah,
and if he does that, how much is he making from the Molsons and just go down the list, the Canadian
BioSteel,
Tires and all
whatever it is,
list every company that would want Connor McDavid Stanley Cup commercial.
Yeah.
he's basically just punting on $4 to $5 million a year and taking the gamble that he might get $8 million a year in endorsements if he wins a Stanley Cup and brings it to Edmonton. And then if he gets one, maybe that is his incentive to keep signing low. Is like, I want to win 3. Like, I don't know. It's exciting to think about.
The number that I was thinking about on the drive over that a lot of people aren't talking about is how much he left on the table is actually in American dollars too. Like, he pretty much left 10 million Canadian on the table a year. If he left 7 mil American, that is a big amount of money for anybody. So yeah, he's obviously committed. It was a cool move.
What do you think about the team? Like we were talking before, I'm not sure if you're in here or not yet, but there's a lot of question marks, right? A lot of guys people don't quite know yet, but I still think it's a pretty solid roster.
Yeah, I loved everything I saw from Wallman to get some defense depth there. I think is terrific. I hope Ekholm can remain what he was up until his injury last year. If he comes back and he's 90% of what we're used to him being, I really like our decor.
How much that's a swing player right there. Like him, we talked about like Nurse bouncing back being a swing guy because like you go from having a second pairing where maybe you wince, but like if Nurse bounces back, you're looking at a second pairing that's like truly elite. Yeah. And Ekholm's the same thing. If Ekholm's a little slow, there's going to be a lot of nights where you're like, ooh, that top pairing. But if Ekholm's back to Ekholm, it's like, this might be one of the best blue lines in the NHL.
100%. And the young guys, hopefully, they're going to have a lot of expectations to get it rolling pretty quick. But, yeah, I mean, obviously, top 2 lines you got to feel confident with. We got 2 of the best players in the world, if not the best players in the world. If you would have told me that when I was 16 years old, that someday that we'd have these two guys signed a few years more, like, let's go.
And, I mean, obviously, you've been a fan longer than us, but even the comparison of, like, think back to those days in the early 2000s when the Oilers would lose a guy over $100,000, and now compare that to the best player on the planet being like, yeah, I'll take less. I'll take stick around.
Less.
Yeah, I'll take 10 million less.
The best. Yeah, I remember, like, this would have been, for some reason, Anson Carter pops in my head as the player I'm thinking of in that era.
Ace?
Yeah. But, yeah, those guys, as soon as they got too good, you were scared. Because you knew that they were going to get offered more than the Oilers would match. So you kind of wanted players to be pretty good. Yeah. You didn't want elite players because they'd be gone.
They score 30 and you're like, fuck, damn it. Had to keep that mid-20s. What else do you want to do? You want to do our predictions?
Yes.
Did you see my message?
I did.
Okay, good. Because we felt like we needed to give you a little bit of a heads up on that. Didn't just want to put you on the spot. So we're doing a mild, a medium, and a spicy take for the year. Liam, do you want to kick us off? We're going obviously mild, medium, and then spicy in that order. But
yes.
So what's your mild one?
Ekholm resigns before December 1st is my mild take.
Oh, I'm yawning. It's so mild.
Is that a bad one?
No, it's a great one. I just had to yawn and it kind of lined up.
That worked out good.
I actually would disagree that it's mild. I actually think that's a little bit more.
The reason I say it is because Freeman said on Morning Cup of Hockey today that he's the next guy.
Okay.
So that's my mild one.
To follow up on that, Friedman in his 32 Thoughts blog wrote that he's been hearing a couple of conflicting things on Ekholm. Is it going to be a shorter term deal with not maybe like a $6-7 million cap hit, but something a touch higher? Or he mentioned the Chris Tanev deal in Toronto, which was a 6x4.5. Chris Tanev's like 34 years old. He's not playing till the end of that contract. Is Ekholm maybe going to do something more along those lines where it's like a 5x4 keeps the number down and there's kind of like the wink last 2 years of that deal, your hip hurts, right?
I just wonder about that now, though, because of the new playoff cap rules with the dead cap stuff. Like,
but if you just do like
$4.5 million on dead cap in the playoffs,
but with Petrangelo, like they announced the Petrangelo thing today, right?
I just put him out for the
year. He can still probably do it. I don't mind that as a mild one, though. I think that's good. I do think he'll sign mid-season, and hearing everything we're hearing, I'm kind of more confident in that than I even was like 24 hours ago.
Too.
You're mild.
For the first time since '87, I think the Oilers win their division.
Okay.
Plus 155 on Bet365 if you want to get in on that action. That's mild.
155 is pretty mild.
Yeah, still plus money, but you're not retiring off that amount of money. I'm still going to bet it, but yeah, I like that. I mean, I do think Vegas is going to be good. Vegas is always good. Whatever, Marner edition, yes, 100-point regular season player, that's great. I can't believe how many people are picking the LA Kings to finish ahead of the Oilers. That one perplexes me a little bit.
Bonkers.
They're banking on a lot of the shit that went right last year going right again, and that's why I'm like, So in that sense, I think it's a true coin flip between the Oilers and Golden Knights. And if you were to give me plus 155 odds on a coin flip, I'm a good enough math guy to know you take those odds. right?
And you? What's your mild?
Connor McDavid hits the 140-point mark again. I think he's healthy this year. He wasn't healthy last year. The distraction's now out of the way with the contract. I actually think he's going to come into this year in a weird way. Taking the discount, I don't think makes him like take any pressure off himself. I don't think he's sitting there being like, the rest of the team better be good because I'm taking a discount now. Yeah. I think he's going to sit there and kind of want to stick it to the league and be like, yeah, I'm signing for a discount and I'm still the best player in the league and I'm going to win an MVP and I'm going to go back to putting up 140 points. The other thing too is starting with him and Leon together. The starts have always been what's killed him.
Yeah.
So if he comes out of the gate and he's with Leon for the first 10 games and he has like 18 points in the first 10 games, which that sounds mild compared to what I think they actually could do in the first 10 games, especially when you look at the schedule. I think Connor is going to, like, quite honestly, cruise past 100. It might be one of those where we're talking about like 160 games, and then we know how good he is late in the year. It'll be no problem.
I agree. I think he's going to kill it this year. The last time he had 140 was when he scored 64 goals. Pretty good season.
That was a year, eh?
Yeah.
When he gets going, too, like, it's just bet on him getting 3 or more points in a game, and that's a coin flip. That's insane to think about.
Well, it's like playoff anytime with him when we do our betting thing and you build up a same gamer and McDavid 1 point is like minus 800. And it's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like,
it's my
crazy.
favorite bet ever, and it wasn't McDavid, but Draisaitl. The year they went to the conference finals, wake up in the morning, roll over, pick up your phone, bet 365, Draisaitl 2+ points. Wake up the next morning, oh, there's my cash out.
Back
it again.
Medium, Liam.
Medium. Here we go. Howard and Savoy combined for more goals than Arvidsson and Skinner did, which I think was 31.
Okay, Howard and Savoy combined for more goals than Arvidsson and Skinner.
Yeah, which was 31.
How would you divvy it up between the two of them?
I think Howard will get 15. I think Savoy will get 18.
Neither one of those sound insane.
No, but it's
also
like difficult
rookies,
for rookies to score.
And
And
we're
one of
gonna-
them stand on the fourth line.
We're going to talk about it with Rob
So,
Schremp later, too.
yeah.
Like the idea that neither of them is going to get a ton of power play time either that might play into that. So I don't hate that. I didn't check what their 2 over-unders are. People saying Savoy for Calder, pump the GD brakes.
Finalist, though. I'm in on the finalist. Why not? Well, let me have my moment. That's my mild one, too.
Okay. Medium.
I'm going to go with Knobloch for the Jack Adams.
Oh, yeah.
That one's so interesting. So I talked about that today on DFO Live with Carter Hutton, and the Jack Adams was the award we were previewing today. It's such a weird one because it's so narrative driven. It doesn't actually go to who the best coach is.
Right.
And like when you look at Knobloch, he probably is one of the best coaches in the NHL.
Yeah,
He's been in the league for a year and a half. He's been to 2 Stanley Cup finals. But that's almost like one of those where it always goes to the team who is the most improved.
Sure, or the most unexpected.
Yeah.
To put together a solid run, which makes sense too. I mean,
But-
a lot of people will say he's got Connor and Leon. Like, of course, they're a beast of a team. But I guess I hope that they're good enough that he's in the conversation for that.
Which I think your prediction could come true if my medium one comes true.
I was just going to say, sorry, on Ryder's point, it's so dumb that the league does that. Like, they don't reward the best coaches. Like, John Cooper's never won a Jack Adams.
And he coaches Team Canada every
every
single
year. And he's
every
regarded,
event.
everyone knows he's the best coach in the league,
Yep.
but he's too good to win.
That's literally what it
makes
is.
no sense at
that
all.
is
Like,
interesting.
Like the
Yeah.
favorite this year is Andre Tournier.
come on.
Call him
He's
the
a
bear.
good coach, but like just because his team got 20 more points and missed the playoffs again doesn't make him the coach of the year. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so dumb.
So the Oilers, if Nobby's going to win Coach of the Year, probably have to exceed expectations by whatever amount. So my medium one is that they win the President's Trophy this year. We talked about it. Dom Luszczyszyn's model has them as the number 1 team, the number 1 roster, projected to get the most amount of points. If they win the President's Trophy this year and they're tied for second on the odds board right now, tied with Vegas, behind only Carolina. So even that there, like if they win the division, they beat Vegas. Vegas is probably one of those teams that would be up there for the President's Trophy. So you kind of connect that dot. I think there's a world where they're like a 110-point team. McDavid has 140 points. The goaltending bounces back. Like, I can see things going well. And if they win the President's Trophy, there probably is a Knobloch for Jack Adams push.
Don't you think the last 3 years they would have been in the conversation for President's Trophy had they not gotten off to rotten starts. Like
Yes.
all they would have had to do is change their first 10, 15 games and have the exact same outcome in the last 65, and they'd be right there.
So again, to go back to like, if you're going to win the Jack Adams, there needs to be a significant like narrative and media push behind you. We can start that narrative. We can say, Knobloch put McDavid and Draisaitl together early. That allowed the Oilers to avoid their usual early season slump, propelled them to their best regular season in franchise history. Boom. Knobloch Coach of the Year. Insider trading. We're going to move the market. Spicy. Liam.
Spicy.
Now I'm worried mine's not spicy enough. It is.
Well, you haven't even seen what mine is yet.
Okay.
Evan Bouchard finishes with 85 plus points and is a Norris finalist.
30 goals?
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing what you did.
85 points. Norris finalist.
Yes. I don't think he's been a finalist before.
No, he was
fifth, I think,
1 year, yeah.
85 would be a career high. And people might laugh at that, but he had 82 like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He was a point per game defenseman. He just had a down year because the Oilers sucked. to start
And last
with.
year was the first time in 3 seasons the Oilers' power play was out of the top 10.
Yeah.
I highly doubt that happens again.
Yeah. He had 14 goals last season, 53 points for 67. In his 82-point year, he had 18 goals, 64 assists in 81 games.
And that ties back into Ekholm a little bit too, because like we saw in the playoffs, and you and I were banging this drum a lot, that like he was a top pairing defenseman with Ekholm out of the lineup. He was carrying that pair, whoever he played with, basically all on his own. It wasn't like he had to rely on the vet and all of that shit. If Ekholm bounces back a little bit and Bouchard plays the way he does in the playoffs, I'm with you 1,000%. And those aren't very big ifs. Those are little ifs.
A big conversation that isn't talked about too much is like how much Kulak dropped off after he left Bouchard.
Yeah.
Like Kulak was pretty bad in a way after Ekholm came back, and who knows if it was Bouchard, but everyone, like you said, always says like how great Ekholm is and he makes Bouchard better. Bouchard now deserves that respect too.
Well, ever since Bouchard's been in the league, they've put him with a guy that's made him look better.
Yeah.
Duncan Keith was such a mentor to him, and you could tell. But yeah, it's time for Bouchard to be that guy
I
on
agree.
a defensive pairing.
And I think you will. I think it's time.
All right.
Spicy.
Spicy. Sidney Crosby wins his next Stanley Cup with the Edmonton Oilers.
JB had it in the chat too. I was curious where you were going to go. A couple of people did say that too. I mean, they go to the Olympics together.
Yeah.
Maybe they're roomies at the Olympics.
Sounds like they've been having some conversations about the contract too. I don't know if that's true or not. That might be somebody made that up on Twitter, but I read something about that he kind of leaned on Crosby for his advice with this
Yeah, I
contract
saw Jim Matheson
negotiation.
was the one who
Okay.
Maddie tweeted that. Yeah, they go to the Olympics. They become best friends. Finally, Sid goes, "I'm out."
Bunk beds.
I'm still of the belief the only spot Sid ever goes is Montreal. If he's gonna ruin his one jersey legacy, it's gonna be to like play for the storied franchise and like do his little homecoming and all of that. But fuck, I'd love that.
Well, and Montreal has pieces to get him.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas we'd have to give up almost all of our young pieces to get him. I don't know if we do that.
Or it'd be like in a weird way, like Pittsburgh would be trying to like do right by Sid. It would take
Right.
like
Well, and like this is going to sound dumb, but Brad Marchand went for a second-round pick. And I don't think Sidney Crosby's a second-round pick. He's way better than Brad Marchand.
correct.
But maybe it's not as much as people might speculate.
a good
it could
point.
be.
You talk about that a lot too. We always build up these grand,
yeah.
like, oh, it's gonna take 9 P, and then NHL trades happen, and you're like, what? Fourth best prospect? And
Who's Carl Bergeson? Exactly. Berglund.
But we
was his
traded
name,
him for
wasn't it?
Wallman.
Exactly. Yeah, I forgot his damn name already.
My spicy one, I like that one, and it's gonna play well on the clip side of things too. So good work. I have Pud Colson getting 25 goals this year. Too spicy?
No, I mean, if he just hits the net a few more times, his shot's good enough to go in.
The amount
like-
of like nice looking opportunities he gets.
And you got to think too, he didn't. When was his first goal? Like December, November?
It took him like
a
20
while,
games.
Yeah.
And if in the offseason he's been working on that, he's obviously got some guys on his team that can help with location and shot.
Totally. And he looks like he's pretty dialed in to me.
What was he last year?
He had,
Mid-teens?
did he
12.
have 12?
12.
But then he had 3 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's a 15-goal season. It's pretty good.
I think I also think as much as we did a whole little bit there on McDavid and Draisaitl playing together to start, that's not lasting 82. And we know Dry loves Pud Colson. So I think at some point they find their way back together. And who knows? I think a heater comes. He just needs confidence. And in a weird way, that's another reason I like why the Oilers just bucked up and paid him.
Yeah.
Is because I think it'll give him the confidence. Like in Vancouver, Tocchet just murdered that kid's confidence. And he was Every turnover, he'd basically be on a bus to Abbotsford before the game was done. I think the Oilers being like, hey, we believe in you. You're a $3 million player in this league. Here is $9 million guaranteed. Go do your thing. Go be yourself. I think that'll free him up a bit.
I would imagine there's a level of confidence there when you can feel more than just gratitude for the opportunity. Like when you actually have something to prove other than just thank you for taking a chance on me and putting me with Dry. Like, yeah, go and prove it.
I'm very excited for your show. November.
Yeah, looking early November. I kind of want to do a mock one on our first day to see it iron out some kinks. We haven't really discussed that behind the scenes yet, so I'm thinking like the 3rd, the 4th of November, somewhere in there.
Have you met Reese yet?
Just now.
That's very exciting.
Yeah, he's gonna be rocking and rolling as our producer. Very excited.
He's such a young guy.
Yeah, he actually celebrated Boyfriend's Day the other day.
We've been bullying him very hard about that. He's a good boyfriend, though.
Boyfriend.
When Lisa was talking about him, because she creeped his Instagram, she's like, yeah, he looks like he's a really good athlete and he's got great hair. And I was like,
does have
oh,
good
yeah,
hair.
good. Thanks. Is that a priority for you?
Your Vladdy bat flip video was very good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we were just sitting around. I was like, man, that bat flip was sick. I kind of want to throw stuff around. And she's like, we should probably film that. So
It was good. And also, you being on our team, I think we finally can make the case to Jay that we need a nation softball team.
would love to. Yeah. I talk a big game.
The pieces are there.
Yeah.
How many times do you think we like go up to bats and we just play a team that doesn't like us? Just how many times do you think we get hit?
It's softball. You can't get hit.
I mean, someone's gonna find a way.
If my experience in rec sports is anything, it's high. People will dislike us very, very much.
Yeah, Waz didn't have a lot of confidence when it was brought by his attention that we might be playing ball. So
No, not at all.
Was to be a great wall boy.
or catcher.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Catching balls. So Liam mentioned it earlier, but like you're gonna get to sleep in a little bit now. This is like a new life for you. Do you think it's gonna result in going to more Oilers games?
Well, that is actually pretty nice. Another thing I was thinking about on the drive over here was how thankful I am that we're in Mountain Standard Time for sports.
Best.
As an early riser, I get a chance to at least catch the first couple periods, and then if it's tight, I'll stay up. And if it's not, I ditch and go to bed. But these baseball playoffs, being home in the afternoons is just so sick. I forgot how much I like October.
I complained. I was like, fuck, Jay's game starts at 6 tonight. That's BS. That's late. And I'm like, well, check yourself. Mountain sports privilege. Like 6 is a good. Out east, I was talking to Huts today, and it's like, yeah, man, like his kids can't watch it because the game starts at 8 in Ontario. That's crazy.
Can you imagine being a McDavid fan as a young kid living in Newfoundland, and you have to start the game at 11:30, or what would it be there? Yeah.
Yeah. Our mainlander Tim lives in St. John's, right?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
Dildo.
He lives in, yeah.
He does? What? That's where he fucking lives.
I just thought you were going to follow up on it.
Oh, I was just picking
where
up
he
the
lives.
slack, you know?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay. Well, we do have Rob Schremp coming up in a couple of minutes. This was a lot of fun. We're going to do this more. You're going to be in the office.
Awesome.
And your studio's downstairs, but our house is your house. We have Dr. Pepper in the fridge. We've been drinking Dr. Pepper a lot.
Not red wine.
No, it is not red wine.
Glass, okay.
There's a bed back here.
Yeah, there's a bed if you guys sleep.
Sweet.
There's a shower. We have a little bit of champagne left. If you want a glass of champagne before you left,
Sober October, so I'll save it.
Oh,
Put a cork
I
in
did
it.
mine in February, shortest month of the year.
We've got
Smart move.
in-suite
Not on
laundry
leap years, though.
as well.
Yeah,
In
if you
sweet
need to.
laundry.
You just
Sick.
can't do it while Aaron's working.
Yeah.
That's the off hours.
Door doesn't open.
There was talk of us getting a studio built in our house, and immediately I shut it down because I want to be a part of the team. We want to be here and jump on shows and put you guys through hell with our social media. It'll be fun.
I love it. I'm excited. All right. Thanks for popping on.
Awesome.
Okay, we're going to step aside. We'll be back in like 2 minutes, and then Rob Schremp will join the show. sober October when the hockey season starts and sports are at their best, crazy. Some Maynard said that too.
Not for me.
Yeah, no, could never be me. I'm having this many domestic lights and watching the Blue Jays tonight.
10 or 2. Or just this many.
A bushel. You can't even use normal measurements. Buff in the chat said Hawaiian time is best. No, Pacific time zone sucks as well. The only good time zone is Mountain time zone.
I think Central's okay.
I was going to say,
Central's okay.
honorable mention to Central. That's not terrible, but then you still have sporting events that start at 9 o'clock.
It's true.
That's crazy to me.
I really enjoy that our sports, like, for me, you think 5 p.m., I get home from school at like 4. They got me an hour to get your homework done, get your stuff done, get prepped, and then 5 p.m. on, you're not moving.
School, work, like whatever age you are, 5 o'clock gives you enough time to either get home with dinner if you work a little bit later, or if you work until like 4 o'clock, like a lot of people do, you make dinner, sit down, start watching sports at 5 o'clock. Sunday night football, the late football game, 6:15, beautiful start time. Sunday morning football starting at 11, unbelievable stuff. It's Mountain time zone is just untouchable.
We're blessed. We're blessed.
We are. Because the issue when you get to Pacific is 4 o'clock starts are too early. If the Jays started
because you're not
4,
home yet. Like, I would still be on the bus. I'd still be commuting home from work.
If you're a college football fan too, like obviously I watch soccer on Saturday mornings. That's an 8 a.m. start. It's not terrible. I mean, I wish it was 9 a.m.
Up having your coffee, though.
But then you watch that. If you like college football, the game typically starts at around 10:30, and you just trickle through the day with sports literally all day.
Someone said, is Boardsy still in high school?
I think, what are you, grade 12 now, Aaron?
I like that I'm the oldest one in this room right now, actually. So thank you very much.
Mulick said most people get off at 5, though. No, I don't think so. I think a lot of people get off at 4.
That's been my experience.
I don't know. What's an 8-hour day?
9 to 5 or 8 to 4. I think more people are 8 to 4. Teachers, we stand with teachers.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're going to be joined by Rob Schremp in a little bit, but for now, let's get to a Sherwood Ford Giant question brought to you by, guess who? Our friends over at Sherwood Ford. The Giant dealer days are coming, and man, also the fact I woke up today and looked, it's October 7th. That's criminal. That got here way too quick. But anyways, that means we're just 11 days away from dealer days at Sherwood Ford. Saturday, October 18th, 1 till 3. There'll be ticket prizes for Ford and hockey fans of Edmonton, and they encourage you to bring a canned food donation for the charity food drive. Our Sherwood Ford Giant question, what do you make of these line combos from Oilers Skate today? We're back to talking line combos. They mean something. The regular season starts tomorrow. These line combos matter, damn it.
Let's have a look. Is it the same as what it was the other day? Yeah, okay. Oh, Lazar is Lazar? I think Lazar is a placeholder because Knobloch did say that Howard would be in the lineup.
Correcto.
These are the lines that skate because obviously Hamlin didn't fly up and Howard isn't allowed to skate because he's technically not on the team. Regula, I like that he's there because I think I don't want to undervalue him because I think he's done a good job to make the team, put himself in the conversation. But he is essentially just a placeholder for Warman at the end of the day. But I hope he can kind of step into the moment and do well. If he doesn't, Brett Kulak is there to support Nurse, and I'm sure they'll probably play a few shifts together. But I'm fine with it. I'm not going to lie. I was surprised to see Noah Philp as the third-line center. But I'm very happy to see it because I think he fully deserves to be in that spot. I think he's done a great job throughout training camp and into the preseason to earn an opportunity higher up the lineup than just a fourth-line center. Credit to him. Everything else to me is pretty status quo.
Yeah, I wouldn't even call Philp a 3C. I think the third and fourth lines are pretty interchangeable here.
I would agree.
It is interesting that they seem to go with more of like a second line, though. Like there is a clear drop from 2 to the other 2, I would say. And I'm interested to see if that can hold or if we eventually get like a, you know what, there's not enough scoring punch down there. Flip-flop Mangiapane and Philp. Flip-flop Mangiapane and Howard. Do something like that to balance things out a little bit more. But for now, being on home ice, I don't have a problem with this at all. I like it.
Do you know one thing that's interesting? I just thought of this now. So Howard is going to, like we said, flip him for Lazada and the left wing on the fourth line. That's clearly an offensive line. I wonder if they're trying to get that spark back in Henrique a little bit. Be like, you get O-zone starts now, way more. Because last year you were getting all the D-zone starts. We're going to put Philp in that spot. And now you have to go out there with 2 guys in Howard and Tomasek, who we've been told all summer are goal scorers. I think that's quite an interesting wrinkle in this. I'm not expecting anything crazy from Adam Henrique, but he's been a guy who's scored throughout his NHL career. You seem to disagree.
If they're an offensive line, who's the Mike? Get it? Football.
No.
Who's the Mike? Who's the Mike? Thank
Oh
you.
my fucking God.
That's all I could think of.
I
did
got
honestly
it, but I didn't laugh.
didn't even hear the back half of your point because that's all that was in my head. I agree with you though.
It's just, yeah, I'm curious about it. Devin makes a good point. Can Philp win faceoffs? It's definitely a weak spot for him.
He was better in the preseason than he was last year though.
Was he? Okay.
And I do agree with your point of like Henrique, Tomasic, and Howard, like that's an ozone line.
Scoring, yeah.
They're a scoring line. And Kapanen, Podkolzin, that's a trust him in the D zone. I think it's a compliment to Philp.
I agreed. Completely agree.
Yep.
I like it. I really like the lineup. Janmark, obviously a missing player as well. It'll be interesting to see how he fits into this because, like, he has to get better. I know people disagree.
People say
with
we
us
hate
on
him,
that.
whatever, all that.
I don't care. It's just at the end of the day, if he's not playing enough, he doesn't deserve to be in the lineup every single night. So something he has to get better at. We'll see what happens with him. But I think he's gone at least 2 weeks by the sounds of it. Maybe even after the Eastern Road swing.
Yeah. It's Lazar definitely the 13th forward. Yeah, when Janmark's back, I could see them waving Lazar because he probably gets through, and they probably want to give Janmark a chance to like get his job. Like they're not going to sit there and wave Janmark and be like, you were hurt, unless they view it as like, hey, we're going to go let you get up to speed down there, and then we'll call you back up at some point. But
the only problem with that is his cap would remain on the books, and I don't know if they can afford that.
Janmark?
Yeah.
They could like I'm saying they could actually straight up wave him.
Oh, just sorry.
And
I
be
thought you were
like-
saying like conditions.
No, like I'm saying wave him. He can go. He'll clear. No one's picking him Matthias Janmark.
Someone did. Someone. Sorry. I thought I said paid.
Oh yeah, no, pick up. Yeah,
What
no one
a
will pick him up.
waste of
So
money.
I honestly have no complaints about these forward lines. I think it's very good, and I'm so happy for Noah Philp.
Yeah, his whole story is for him to be here. What would he be? A 27, 28-year-old rookie?
Crazy.
It's unbelievable, to be honest. To take a year off hockey, play 1 year in the American League, get your NHL debut, get an assist against Nashville in your debut, and then however many months later, start an NHL regular season with a team who is favorite to win the Stanley Cup.
Pretty cool.
It's pretty nuts. And a youth sports player.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Go Golden Bears. How did the Golden Bears do?
They swept their weekend.
Well,
They played Trinity Western.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a super dominant year for the University of Alberta Golden Bears.
Anyone good? Anyone stand
Well, they
out?
brought back Dawson Davidson, who is more than 2 years older than his second oldest teammate. And he was their best player, like head and shoulders
Do you
above
know
everyone
what?
else.
He better be.
Yeah. Well, he also didn't play hockey for a year, which is crazy.
Oh, he didn't play?
No, he didn't play anywhere.
That is... Did he... Oh, so he played... I'm just looking. He played 1 year in Denmark and then went to the U of A. He had 5 assists in 2 games.
Mulek said Forsberg to the Oilers. Philip Forsberg. I am trying to figure out. There was a tweet that Friedman said something, and I guess it was a fake quote. But the idea that Nashville could potentially blow it up is interesting. And Mulek brought up a good point. Brady Martin is their first line center.
And that is not a good thing.
No, because he's a rookie.
And not because of Brady Martin, but because of how much money Nashville has spent. And how bad of a job Barry Trotz has done. And nobody wants to admit it.
You ready to hear these? If you can find me a worse center depth chart than this in the NHL, I'll give you the $20 that's in my wallet. Second chance
time
today, you can get that $20 from me. That was a pre-show thing. None of you would get the joke. As was the who's the mic thing. That's why no one laughed. Brady Martin, Fedor Svechkov, Eric Holla, Michael McCarron.
Michael McCarron. The Oilers wanted him.
Yeah?
Like, there's just not... I'm going through even just the bottom teams. Like, even Chicago. Bedard, Frank Nazar, Jason Dickinson. That's a solid little spot.
That is better than Nashville.
Yeah, that's solid. Who else is a bad team this season? Let's say Detroit. Dylan Larkin, Marco Kasper, JT Comfort's their third line center. JT Comfort would probably be their second line center on Nashville.
He might be their first line center.
Yeah, he might be.
Who's Philly? Philly, Couturier, Zegras, Cates, Rodrigo, Abels.
Ooh.
It's a new year in the NHL. There's some names I don't know. I'll be honest with you. Hand up.
There's a lot of rookies.
Utah's better than them.
The Islanders, Horvat, Barzell, JG Pageau, Casey Cizikas.
Like, I think Vancouver.
Pretty good.
I think Vancouver stinks, but it's still better because at least you can point to Pettersson.
Cheeto would probably be Nashville's top line center.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say something then.
This is like shocking to look at down the middle.
Yeah, it's like a
Why is
genuine.
O'Reilly on the wing?
Yeah, that's what I was looking. I was like, is he hurt?
Because I don't think
Nope.
he can skate anymore. Same thing with
But surely he's
Stamkos.
coming to the end of his time in Nashville. That contract couldn't have been for years.
I think it's his last. O'Reilly or Stamkos?
All of them.
I
Like,
think
they're all
O'Reilly is
signed
done
for-
after this year, isn't he?
No, he's got 2 more years, I thought, at least. Didn't he just sign there? His team is bad. Yeah. Well, like I was saying to Reese before the show, when did how long has Stamkos not been a good centerman for? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he was like one of the best in the league, and now all of a sudden it's just like this guy can't play center.
Yeah, I think kind of in his last year in Tampa, he
It's
migrated
interesting.
over.
I
It
feel
is
like I
interesting.
would trust that guy outside of a rookie and Brady Mine, who, by the way, is an awesome player.
Yeah,
I
love
really
him.
like him.
All right, let's get out to our second guest of the day. First off, though, Giant Question was also brought to you by Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. Full boat winterization with free pickup and delivery. Free pickup and delivery for your boat. You don't even have to leave your house or wherever it's parked. They got you covered at Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. For the second time today, we are going out to the Star Mechanical Guest Line, Edmonton's #1 plumbing and heating company. They have been in the community for more than 20 years, and they don't have expensive rates. They focus on being as cost-conscious as they can for you, the customer. They also offer 24/7 emergency services. Go to starmechanical.ca. Very excited to welcome on someone who will be a new regular guest, not just on our show, but on pre- and post games as well. Former Edmonton Oiler Rob Schremp joins us. How's it going, Rob?
Going on, boys? How you doing?
Doing great.
It's
I was great. Better yesterday, but still feeling good.
yeah, we were popping champagne yesterday when McDavid signed. It was a great day around here.
Yeah, I bet. That was huge. What a big day for the city and for the team.
Let's start with that, actually. Let's get your take on it. Connor McDavid going with the ultimate discount. It's a $12.5 million AAV, a 2-year deal. What did you make when you saw the news come across?
It's it's an amazing sacrifice from Connor to do that and to make it fit for the team. It's amazing. What a classy move. And I think my second thought is like it's only in hockey that this kind of stuff happens, though, right? Like this selfless play, lay it on the line for the team. Any other sport, they're taking as much money as they can possibly get. So I felt like it was, it's a very classy move, no doubt about it. It's just funny that it only happens in our game where a player does something like this because he's definitely worth $20 million a year. Obviously, with a Kaprizov contract that just got signed, his comparable. He's worth every bit of $20 million a year. So it's crazy that he put it on the line like that, and he said he wants to win, and he's just proven it with his actions. So it's pretty amazing to see.
There was Bowman made a comment on this yesterday too, like talking to some of the players when he saw them around the rink, and they honestly, it seemed like they couldn't believe the money that he left on the table. But like, what do you think that does for the Oilers now? Because we were talking a little bit too, is like you're always excited for the first game, but then like this season just felt like that was lingering over it. Then he signs, like the players have got to be pretty stoked to see what that captain just did for him. I would have to imagine.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's just such a selfless move, and I just think it's going to put a little bit of urgency in everybody else's game and realizing what he did to stick around and to help the team win. And there's no excuse from anybody else now about what they can do to lay it on the line for the Oilers in the crest. So I think it's a great example for the group of how passionate he is, how much he wants to win, and what he's willing to do for the group.
I'm stealing your next one because you wrote it down, and I think it's a great one. But like McDavid gets his big ticket. Jake Wallman also gets $49 million guaranteed on his 7-year deal as well. And the Oilers' first road trip is in New York. Like you've been in NHL pro locker rooms. That first team dinner is probably going to be insane, right? If you got two guys making that kind of money on new deals.
Yeah, the money on the board will be big. I don't know if they're still doing it or not, but money on the board will be big, and then they'll have a really good dinner night before and looking after the boys. So I don't know if Connor should be pitching in, seeing how he's already pitched in about $16 million. If you combine those 2 years, he left $8 million a year on the table, in my opinion. But yeah, I think it'll be a great time, and everybody's going to be excited. And season started. You're in New York City. It's the prices are high there, so I'm sure the boys will run the tab up.
Yeah, it'll be good. We're going to talk as we move along about the Oilers' 2 rookies that are going to be in the lineup on opening night with Ike Howard and Matt Savoy. I'm sure you've told this story. You've been on a lot of different pods. What was your rookie dinner like, since we're on the topic of team dinners? What do you remember from it?
Oh, our rookie dinner, mine was with the Islanders. It was down in Miami. And I remember Andy Sutton popping a $20,000 bottle of wine and just looking right at me and saying, "Thank you, Shrimpy." So it was, it was steep. And that receipt hurt a lot, but it was a lot of fun. Like, the guys were great, and it was a great experience, even though it's a lot of money. It's crazy to think what you're spending on food that is going to be shit out in the morning. So not a great investment, but it is also a great investment at the same time when you get to, sort of bond with your veterans and, treat them for the night.
Yeah, I do DFO Live with Carter Hutton, and Hutz was telling me the story today of him being like outside of the restaurant, calling his bank, being like, "No, it is me. I know it's $10,000. Like, I swear it's actually me trying to put this charge through."
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're not used to those limits, buddy. When you're a rookie, you're not usually spending the big bucks. So that $10,000 charge coming through the financial institution usually blocks it or red cards it.
Yeah. Well, good for them.
Yeah.
Well, the banks are on it. It's good.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about, obviously, the bit of a different approach for the Oilers, going younger, bringing in guys like Howard and Savoy. They're not going to be with McDavid and Draisaitl to start the season, from what we saw from lines today. What do you make of that decision to kind of have them on their own lines? And I'm kind of labeling it as figure it out on your own rather than having to rely on the superstar. What do you make of that decision by Knobloch?
It's going to be interesting to see how it shakes out. Everything's with those 2 high-end players and those 2 young players, like, at any moment you can insert those young guys once they seem like they're getting their feet wet and they're doing the right things and have good habits. The other thing too is you don't want that to be a distraction for those high-end guys as well. Not to say they would be, just that would be a concern, I think, as a coach. How much babysitting do you want those guys to do versus them going out and doing their thing? So those young guys are going to have to earn their spot, and that's proved to both the coaching staff and, also as a high-end guy, you see them doing cool stuff or, doing good stuff. You're like, "Hey, put him on my line. I think he's ready," or whatever. So I'm sure there's communication that way, but I think it's, it can go either way. You can chuck them up there and it could go great, or you can chuck them up there and they fall flat on their face. If the second one of those happens, that's not good for those young kids, because the NHL is not really the place where you get to build your confidence. So if you lose it early, it's tough to get back because you're scramble mode. So I think it's great of Knobloch to be protecting them and looking after them and, making sure their development's on a good path.
Another kind of angle of this is like that Oilers top power play unit is obviously so good. And when you have a power play unit like that and you go into a game and it's, tied or you're down by 1 and you get that man advantage, like, I can understand why Chris Knobloch a lot of the times is just like, "Hey, it's those 5, Connor, Leon, Nuge, Boosh, and Hyman, and you guys go out there for 2 minutes and get us the goal we need." But the flip side of it is that sometimes you have guys like Howard and Savoy and even pieces lower down the lineup. I think of like Adam Henrique coming over where like he's used to getting his power play one time. And I look at that and go, I wonder if those guys not getting puck touches on the power play can like hurt them a little bit at 5-on-5. Do you think that could be a thing? Like, should the Oilers put maybe more of an emphasis on like giving other players power play time, if not for any other reason than just to maybe boost their confidence a bit offensively? Like, do you get where my logic is with that?
Yeah, I know. I hear you. It definitely does play. The power play touches builds. Like, you get feeling the game and feeling the puck and having an impact. It's, there's so much parity in the league now. It's really tough to create 5-on-5, especially when you have those guys, those studs in the first line and 2 lines. If you're a third line guy and you probably got a little bit less rope, you're playing a little bit more stingy of a game. But with that being said, like, those guys it depends. I think those games where you're blowing it out, if you got a good lead, 3-4 goal lead, yeah, like somewhere where they give them a cookie. But it's a tricky line because that's somewhere as a high end guy, you want that time too. Everybody wants the time, and I think it's not an easy answer, to be honest with you, because you want those guys to stay out there and feel it, your top dogs. And what's more valuable, having them feeling it or the third line guy getting a little tickle? It's tricky. So it's tricky, but that's, why they pay the coach the big bucks, so he can find that formula.
I guess the thing is too, like you kind of referenced it a little bit. If those top guys get going and just say they get all the power play time and they're feeling it, it'll get to a point where it's like, oh, we're already up 4 goals.
Yeah.
Now these guys can just go and play a little bit on the power play. Like maybe that's the way they kind of try and figure it out.
We also, that's part of the logic I think Knobloch's using in terms of putting McDavid and Draisaitl together to start the year is he talked about how if Connor and Leon are separate on their own lines, he's like, I got to give them each their 22 minutes. And that means the bottom 6, they're fighting for scraps. Like how many more 5-on-5 minutes are left in a game after that, right? Versus when you put them together, all of a sudden you have these other 3 lines. And yeah, you know what? They're all going to get their 12, 13 minutes of 5-on-5. They're all going to get their reps in. So as much as people maybe look at like Connor and Leon together kills the Oilers' depth, maybe there is a chance that could guys get more of an identity not feeling like they're just riding shotgun with Connor and Leon? Does that make sense?
No, I like that. That philosophy is great. It is true because it's tough to break up. And then you got 2 really highly competitive guys that are wanting, and that does take away. So if you put them on the same line, I think that brings up the competitiveness in the bottom 3 lines. And those guys are going to be looking to, produce every night and do something effective to help the team win and kind of take ownership of the second line. There's going to be competition for that. You always will be because that frees you up. That's if you're on the, third, second, third, fourth line right now, like that's, again, you see opportunity because like you said, when you split those guys up, then it's like only a certain type of player can play on that first line and second line. They got to fit those superstars. If you don't fit it, you're pigeonholed in the last 2. And then you're probably getting fourth line's probably getting 6 to 8 and that's it. So I think it would be good to spread out some of that responsibility and have those guys competing for that second, third line spot.
Overshadowed from McDavid yesterday was Jake Wallman. He signed a 7-year deal to stay in Edmonton. What do you make of him as an Oiler, and why do you think this could be a good move for them?
I like him a lot. I thought he was really good in the playoffs. I thought he was very solid. I thought he brought a lot to the game. He was composed. He was great offensively, and a lot of his offense came from just simplicity. It wasn't it wasn't like riverboat gambling to make offense. It was from the blue line and making smart reads. I thought he was a really, a sound player for the Oilers in the playoffs. I loved his game, and I thought he was awesome. So I think this is a great signing. I think he's going to be great for the club. Again, he adds that depth with offense, but it's not at a detriment to the team. So that's really positive, and I think it's a great signing in my opinion. And it's great to see where he came from. A couple teams kind of given up on him to being in a place now where a club is willing to give him $7 million a year. I think he's got to feel great about that. Even, and then also the $49 million. But I'm sure that the feeling of being wanted and in a place where he can grow and succeed with players like they have on the Oilers roster, I think it's a great thing. It's a mutually great contract in my opinion.
I love, and we talked about this off the jump, but we can get into it a little bit more. Like the Oilers' philosophy has kind of seemed to change over the last couple of seasons here, kind of since Jeff Jackson took over, where it felt like early in Connor's career, they had this obsession with like, okay, we have Connor and Leon, these 2 stars. We need to surround them with toughness and grit, and these defensemen got to be shutdown defensemen. And now they flipped to like, whoa, if we get a defenseman like Wallman, who does do a lot of those other intangibles, right? Like someone in the chat just said he eats pucks. He blocks a ton of shots, but his number one skill is moving the puck. Like it feels like the Oilers have taken this shift to like, you know what? We're going to win if the players who aren't Connor and Leon are best at getting Connor and Leon the puck.
Yeah, I think it's pivotal to make the simple plays. And I remember, going way back in 2006, like Chris Pronger, like he was an amazing player all around. But the thing that he did the best was first pass. His first pass was money. It was always tape to tape, and it was always to the right person. And he always, checked off speed first, and he got it to the right guy. A lot of times he's on the ice with Hemsky back then. He would get it to him early. And that's important because those guys drive your boat, and those guys are getting your zone entries. So when you can recognize that quick and get the puck in the right hands, I think it's really important for your transition game. So, that's like a Wallman that fits in there perfectly. He's really good at escaping and then making the first pass and then kind of, driving the pace, secondary follow-up. So it is really important that you have that understanding as a group of who to get the puck to and whose hands.
Let's go outside of Edmonton for a little bit. It's the start of the NHL season tonight. Is there a team around the league that you're kind of looking up, like maybe they can surprise people? Maybe you're just actually excited to watch them play this year? Who do you got your eye on as the season kicks off?
Well, I'd be interested to see the LA Kings and how they bounce back. They keep losing to the Oilers in first round, and they've made some few adjustments, and this is Kopitar's last season, so their kind of core is getting at that place in their careers, and it'd be interesting to see how they bounce back and what kind of season they put together. Along with Vegas, obviously Mitchie Marner heading over there to see how that goes. Vegas loses Pietrangelo for the year, but they add a high end guy like Marner, so there's going to be some excitement there. And then probably the third one would be, the Carolina Hurricanes, how they progress and if they take that next step. There's a lot of chatter about them, what kind of club they have, and adding Ehlers to the mix and high-end offense, I think could be an exciting team to watch. It'd be really interesting to see how it shakes out coming out of the gate.
Yeah, the Pacific Division is going to be a little interesting because, like, if LA stumbles, is there
take a step?
Yeah, like, who is the team that can take a step if the Ducks give back? I'm not even talking 15 points. Like, if the Ducks the Kings, give back 10 and they're at 95, can any one of Anaheim, Calgary, or Vancouver get to 95 to beat them? I don't know.
Yeah, I think they all might suck.
I think they all might suck. I think there's a chance they all stink. Rob, we had someone in the chat say that you were at the Chicklets Cup. What was that like?
Yeah, that's right. Last weekend in Boston, it was the Chicklets Cup. So it's a ball hockey event and an inline hockey event. It's amazing. They do a hell of a job. Witt, Biz, and Yandel, Matt Murley, Colby Armstrong, the guys were all there. The whole crew is there. They put it on, and it's over Thursday, Friday, Saturday is the event. And it's just great. It's a bunch of fun to go out and compete. I'm not the greatest at inline, but going out there and ripping some bombs and scoring some goals, it's a lot of fun. So there's a lot of banter all through the year too. Those guys are always at each other's throats, competing and whose team's going to win, and the ball hockey section of it. The ball hockey is actually it's really intense. Like it's. Ball goes in the corner and they're running each other. They're blocking shots. Biz was eating pucks in the final or eating balls in the final. I don't know if that sounds right. That came out wrong. But blocking the street hockey ball. But yeah, it was really cool. It's great because it's a lot of people come together and they're passionate about hockey in whatever form, whether it's ball hockey or inline. There's women's division now, and those girls come and compete. A lot of college playing women players and now playing ball hockey, that sort of thing. So it's a great event for hockey and for their brand. That's obviously great, but they do a great job putting it on. It's a lot of fun, the meet and greet and then the kickoff, and then they do a good dinner after the first day, and great social event. And it's good for me to go out there and see some buddies, see some friends and familiar faces. So I had a blast.
Did you meet Oldie?
Yeah. Oldie's a legend, man.
Holy shit.
Oh my God. What a legend that guy is.
He had the goalie pants that looked like jean shorts.
Oh,
yeah. Jorts. He had the jorts going. And he had a 8-pack shaved into his chest hair. So that was another spectacle. He was on it. He was on.
He's a lunatic. All right. Rob, appreciate your time. We're excited to have you on a couple times a month here. You're going to be part of some pre and post games once or twice a month too. So we look forward to having you be a part of what we're doing on the YouTube.
Awesome, guys. Thanks for having me.
There you go.
Thanks, yeah.
Former Oiler, former NHLer, Rob Schremp. That was fun.
That was great.
The chat loved his line about Biz. Yes. He did what? What was Biz doing in the final? But that was good. I liked his insight into, and again, kind of agreeing a little bit with Knobloch of like, yeah, get those guys away from Connor and Leon for a little bit, grow into their role.
Yeah.
Marathon, not a sprint for this Oilers team.
I like that idea too. It's a big step for young players to get into the NHL, and you do need your coach to trust you. That doesn't mean that you can't be scratched every now and then or lose a few minutes if you're having a bad night. But when you're having the good nights, that's when you need to be shown the confidence is with you. And I hope the Oilers can display that quite a bit. But again, it does come down to the players have to show it themselves. Mm-hmm. And there's probably going to be a lot of moments this season where one of them is just not going, but the other two are. They're not all going to go at the same time. But hopefully by the time we get to the playoffs, they can get moving then and become reliable.
Rob Schremp's appearance on the show was also brought to you by our friends at Oodle Noodle. you can take advantage of the value menu deal. It is ongoing right now. You can add 2 green onion cakes, 5 spring rolls, or 6 wontons for just $2 with the purchase of any signature or premium box in store or at oodlenoodle.ca. Let's get to a little What's Trending, Liam. What's Trending is brought to you by our friends at Greta, where we're going to be tomorrow night. Aaron's doing the pre and post game at Greta. Arcade, bar, street food. We're going to be doing some giveaways as well. And if you are looking for a spot to watch the game tomorrow night, the specials at Greta are unbelievable. We are talking beers south of $4. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you get to hang out with those two faces right there on your screen. Brett and Boards, we are back.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we're pre-gaming, people. I can't wait to be back.
Are you going to go?
No, he said the two-face on your screen.
Oh.
There's 4 on the screen.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Now he's doing that meme.
I wonder if Greta's going to have the Jays game on a couple TVs for you guys.
I will make that happen.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll send a text right after the show to
Yeah,
confirm.
be like, hey, we're good split TV kind of thing? I'm thinking of the 2 by the bar. You can do 1 Oilers,
Yeah,
one,
exactly.
one Jays. What's trending, Liam? We didn't talk about this yesterday because it was overshadowed by the McDavid stuff, but Gavin McKenna made his college debut.
He did. And all I have to say is this. That's me doing a downward fork.
Forks down. This was such a nasty
Goal.
goal, nasty celebration. I don't know if you saw Mike Bardner. He's like a content guy.
Oh, yeah.
He works for Bleacher Report now, actually.
Really?
He had
Good for
it.
him.
Yeah, really good for him. I think he just announced it. He had a tweet that I thought was pretty funny. And listen, I don't want to disparage the WHL, but he was like, isn't this way cooler than going to Wenatchee on a bus to win 8-2 on a Tuesday or something like that?
Strong disagree. I think everyone should play in the Western Hockey League for the Penticton Vs. Go Vs, go.
All right. We'll disagree to or agree to disagree on that one.
But I will. I mean,
The atmosphere was
is
just so damn cool.
Yeah, it is cool. The NHL, credit to the NHL making this available for free.
Yeah.
Like, I hope they can do that a few more times. Don't do it for some random ass games, but like, give me the good stuff. You
So,
know?
Liam, is that because I watched that live on YouTube on
Yeah.
Friday night? That's going to be a thing they keep doing?
No, I don't know. I
Okay.
hope they do. That's what I mean.
It was
Like,
awesome.
I want to see that a little bit more. And those are two like Arizona State's not just some bum team.
They were both ranked?
They're a really good program. Yeah, they've done a good job.
The other thing, Shane LeChance, you might remember him as an Oilers prospect that they traded at the deadline to get Trent Frederick 50% retained. He made the Devils this year.
Yeah, he did. Shout out Nepo babies or Nepo babies, whatever they're called.
So if you don't,
Example babies.
if you don't remember the full story, he was never going to sign at the Oilers and made it pretty clear to the organization that he didn't want to sign there. His dad works in the Devils front office or as a part of their scouting or something like that. So he was never going to sign here. But nonetheless, it still does kind of suck that like someone the Oilers took a late flyer on in the draft, turned into an NHLer very quickly, and he's not doing it here. That sucks. I understand the circumstances. It is not anyone's fault in Edmonton. They had to do what they had to do. But it just sucks that it plays out that way.
Yeah, I will agree with that. Obviously, you want all your prospects to work out and play where you drafted them. But, yeah, a bit unfortunate. Tyler Mulick put just like Kesselring. A lot different, actually, because Kesselring was signed and playing there. The Oilers made a big mistake with him.
Yeah.
But LeChance, like, he literally came out and was like, I don't want to play here.
Kesselring, way bigger mistake than LeChance.
Way bigger mistake.
Way bigger.
Skylar Brindamore, not on the Carolina Hurricanes, though.
Even though he is a Nepo baby.
Yeah, not a win for Nepo babies.
Yeah, loss for Nepo babies on the Brindamore front, win for LeChance.
On LeChance.
All right. Football stuff. The Elks signed Justin Rankin, their star running back, to an extension. 2-year deal.
Huge deal.
Congrats, Justin.
Yes, well done. We saw him on the plane once.
We did. He
hell
is,
of a
without a
player.
doubt, their best player.
Yes.
And an incredible story.
Really?
Yeah, he was
The
playing
Arena
like
Football League.
Arena football.
Damn.
Like, but
He
before
tore it
came
up
to
in the Arena
Elks.
Football League.
Yeah. So what a player. That touchdown he had, who was it against Toronto, where he went like 92 yards or
He
something
did that
like
a couple times
Yeah,
this
he
year.
has. He is a great player. Happy to have him around here. They're doing a good job. The Elks are doing a good job making the team good again. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
He's also a guest of Elks Nation.
Yeah,
Shout out
check
him.
it out.
Shout out Elks
Shout out
Nation.
Elks Nation.
Elks making the playoffs? I don't think so.
So here's the thing with the Elks.
Nah.
So I play in a co-ed soccer league at the Elks practice facility.
I was curious where you were going with that. Brought it to a good point.
So it's Clark Parker Field Arena, whatever they're calling it. After this week, because it's Thanksgiving, our league has to go on a 3-week shutdown because they're doing renovations to the facility. To me, that just basically says that they don't believe the Elks season is going to go much longer.
Rats.
I know they practice outside a lot.
I'm sure they
that's
could
kind of
probably
a thing.
delay things a bit too for the Elks.
Maybe, yeah, but I just thought it was interesting that that's happening. I know they practice outside a lot, but there is times where they do come inside some guys, and they just doesn't matter anymore.
No.
How many? They kind of many games left.
2.
2 games left.
I think they got to win them both, and someone's got to lose out.
Okay, it's too bad, but honestly, like they did a good job this year.
It was a
They
step forward.
Won some games.
Joe Flacco to the Bengals is the other piece of football news. So
Yeah,
shout out
watch
to
out,
that.
Green Bay.
This is your last chance. If you are watching right now, go do it. I will literally put a link to it in the YouTube. DFO Survivor Pool. Last chance to sign up. There are almost 1,500 hockey fans in. Sign up, $2,500 Visa gift card prize. But you can win $2,500. Dailyfaceoff.com. Every Saturday, you got to pick a team to win. You can pick every team twice throughout the year, so you got to be a little strategic, and you do get 2 lives as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. Sign up now, dailyfaceoff.com. Go make your pick for this Saturday. I'm actually going to go and make a pick right now just so I don't forget ahead of Saturday.
Let's see it.
Who do I like?
Who you going with, Aaron? You're the one on the screen.
Carolina at home shouldn't lose.
I want to go with the Oil, but I feel like, and you can only use them twice a season, you said, so you
Yeah.
can't burn that too early.
But maybe a good time to burn it. Who do I go with again?
Anaheim to beat San Jose.
That's what I was kind of looking at there. I'm just
gotta-
trying to find the weakest, like the Tennessee Titans.
Vegas to
regular
beat
weekend.
Seattle. I know it's in Seattle. I'm doing that one.
Yeah, I always like
Yeah,
to
I
go.
like
I think
that.
I did Carolina over Philly. Just early season home openers. It's a good way to kick it off, I think.
Mulek says he picked Utah over Nashville. I don't know if I trust Utah early in the year,
I
but
don't know if I trust Nashville at all.
that's fair. Let's wrap up the show with our daily bets for our friends at Bet365. Download the app today. Use the promo code NATION. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Let me also say, our 90-minute shows still fly by.
Yeah, that I didn't realize what time it was.
Yeah. We have a meeting in 3 minutes.
Oh, shit.
All right, tonight in the NHL, do you have a bet you like for this slate?
I do. I do have a bet I like for this slate, Tyler.
I like the over Colorado LA.
I like the puck line in Rangers Penguins.
Let's play them together. Little squad bet.
Go ahead.
Plus 280.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Puck line Rangers over for Colorado LA. MLB playoffs. Blue Jays can sweep away the Yankees tonight. Also, Mulek said Chicago over Florida. I'm betting on the Hawks as dogs. I think they're going to beat them. Spencer Knight revenge game. That's me doing
Just
blocker
think
saves.
Florida might just bully them.
No Kachuk, no Barkov.
AJ Greer
They
might
blew their grumpy load in the preseason.
might just punch Bedard straight up in the face, and Bedard will get fined for it.
Blue Jays plus 140 dogs tonight.
Really?
Woo!
You gotta give respect to the home team.
You do. Yankees going with Carlos Rodon. Blue Jays going with Shane Bieber. You can go Jays money line. Bieber 5Ks. Vladdy over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Plus 350.
Not bad.
I'm in. I am in.
Did you see the line from Ken Rosenthal today?
No.
It was like Aaron Judge might be the best player in the league, but Vladdy has more playoff highlights in this series than he has in his playoff career.
Which is insane because Judge went to the World Series yesterday, but I think it's right.
Aaron Judge still doesn't have his pinstripes.
No, he does not.
He hasn't done
He's
anything.
done jack all in the playoffs.
What does that mean?
It's like you earn, like
Oh,
That's
like
being
it's not
a
like
Yankee.
a real thing.
You
Yeah.
gotta do something in the playoffs.
Sportsnet put out their power rankings for the year for the NHL.
Yeah, I saw that. What a joke.
Edmonton 5.
Why?
There are 3 Western Conference teams ahead of the Oilers.
It's not even that there's 3. Because there should maybe be, who are the other 2? Who are the 3? Dallas, Colorado, and what's the other one?
Vegas.
I can respect Vegas. I get it. It's a toss pin in the division. Whatever.
Sure.
The Dallas, when are we moving past this? The Oilers smoke them every year in the playoffs, and every year I hear the same shit. Wow, Dallas is deeper. Dallas is better goaltending. Look at the coaching staff. Their coach is, what's his name?
Glenn Gulletson.
Who's the Oilers' assistant coach.
50-1 to win the Jack Adams, I don't hate.
Hey, you know
50 to 1 to get fired first.
you know who the Dallas Stars brought in today? Officially?
Adam Ernie.
Adam Ernie.
Exactly.
The people's elbow.
Like I just
Two-way
don't,
deal, two-way
I
deal.
don't think they're a bad team. Don't get me wrong. They're a really good team. But Ilya Lyubushkin plays on their third pair, and then Alex Petrovic plays like a solid amount of games on this team. I just don't get it. Every year it's the same shit with them. Do you think I'm right?
No, I'm with you.
Yeah, I
think
get
they
it.
can be a good regular season team,
I
though.
think they're a really
but-
good team. Really do. I think but they could also be the third best team in their division.
All right.
Every area underestimate
If we're
Winnipeg.
talking about lists, though, you did kind of mention it earlier. We do like this. It's only projections. But any list that we're at the top of, I like.
This one I respect.
Dom does the work.
I think Dallas probably is the fourth best team in the West. The Winnipeg Jets every year get underrated, then they go win the division, get knocked down the first round.
Yep.
That's
Predictable.
Winnipeg do.
Oilers start bad, finish mediocre, get hot, go to the cup final.
Yeah.
Maybe this year's a little different, though.
Dallas
All
is
right.
dangerous this year.
That's a wrap. Tomorrow, finally game day. It's finally game day for our Edmonton Oilers. Waited a long 3 months in between games, but can't wait. Enjoy your Tuesday, everybody. Enjoy hockey being back. We're about 90 minutes away from puck drop on the NHL season, and tomorrow we're getting set for a home opener. BOA. Giddy up. Enjoy your Tuesday. Oil up. What's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Everyday, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video.